Okay, let's be real. We all want to give our kids the absolute best start in life, right? And for so many of us, that means getting them into the most prestigious, most expensive school we can possibly find. We're willing to sacrifice, to cut back, to do whatever it takes. But what if that emotional decision, that powerful act of love, is actually sabotaging your family's entire future?
This quote really just gets right to the heart of it. This belief that expensive equals best isn't building a launch pad for your kid. It's assembling a financial time bomb. And it's a bomb that could absolutely detonate your retirement, your finances, and yes, even your child's future. So today, we're going to count down the 4 biggest reasons why this happens, starting right now.
All right, coming in at number 4 is the trap that gets you first, the debt spiral that's fueled by prestige. You know, a lot of parents think the cost of an elite school stops with the tuition check. Oh man, that is a huge miscalculation. See, the tuition, that's just the cover charge. The real monster is hiding just behind those big fancy gates.
And this brings us to this really powerful idea called the hidden curriculum. You won't find it on any syllabus, but believe me, it's the most important lesson your child is going to learn there. Just look at the stuff on the screen, the phone, the fancy sneakers, the designer bag. In these schools, these aren't just things. No, they are the language of social survival.
And here's where it gets absolutely devastating. Your child comes home feeling left out because they don't have the newest phone or they didn't go to some exotic place for the holidays. And your parental ego just kicks right in. You can't stand seeing them feel insecure. So the prestige subsidy begins. You start upgrading the car, buying the branded clothes, forcing a fancy vacation, and it's all funded by the only money you have left, consumer debt. Credit cards start getting maxed out, and those buy now, pay later plans suddenly become your new best friend.
So how do you escape this? Well, it takes a little bit of tactical courage. First, before you even apply, you have to audit the total cost. Go to the school. Look at the cars in the parking lot. What are the parents wearing? Where are they vacationing? If just looking at their lifestyle makes your chest feel tight, you gotta abort the mission. Second, apply the big fish in a small pond rule. It is so much better for your child's confidence to be a standout in a good, affordable school than to constantly feel like the poorest kid in a sea of sharks.
Okay, let's move on to reason number 3, and you'll see how this all builds on itself. This one is a tragedy of missed opportunity. We're talking about the irreversible loss of your prime wealth-building years.
Just think about it for a second. The time between age 30 and 45. Those are your financial golden years. Your career is taking off, your income is peaking, and this is the critical window where compound interest can really work its magic for you. But when you're stretched to the absolute limit by school fees, that entire window gets slammed shut. Every spare dollar that should be building your future is instead just passing right through your bank account and into the schools.
So the crucial point is this hard and fast rule you have to live by. The total cost of your kid's education, that's tuition, fees, tutors, transportation, all of it, should never, ever be more than 10 to 15% of your total monthly household income. Seriously, anything over 20% isn't a sacrifice, it's a financial bleed-out.
So let's look at what this really means. On path A, every single month, a huge chunk of your income just vanishes. Your wealth is basically frozen for over a decade. But on path B, you choose a good, more reasonably priced school. And that difference? It's not for coffee. It gets automatically invested. This way, your child grows and your assets grow right alongside them.
Now, losing a decade of building wealth is painful, for sure. But reason number 2 is a psychological tragedy that is just so much worse. It's about how this extreme financial pressure can twist your relationship with your child into something transactional and toxic. It's about turning your child into a walking I.O.
Does that sentence sound a little familiar? When you are bleeding money for something, your brain naturally starts to demand a return on that investment. Without even realizing it, you stop being a parent and you start acting like an intimidating investor who's demanding dividends. The investment is the tuition. The dividend is your child's grades.
And this is the dangerous shift that happens. You stop being the parent on the left whose job is to protect and support no matter what. Instead, you become the investor on the right, whose only job is to demand results. And when these two roles get mixed up, you create a home that is just filled with chronic anxiety. Your child no longer learns out of curiosity, they learn out of fear. Fear of disappointing you, fear of being a burden. You're paying for an elite education that is actively killing their love of learning.
The way out of this requires a mental shift. First, you have to think of tuition as a sunk cost. That money is gone, just like the money you spent on groceries. You can't expect anything in return. Second, practice some emotional detachment. If just seeing the school bill makes you angry or stressed, that is a huge warning sign. The school isn't just too expensive for your wallet, it's too expensive for your mental health.
And now, we've arrived at reason number 1. This is the most brutal, the most permanent, and the most devastating mistake of all. This is the act of ultimate sabotage, where in the name of love, you deliberately engineer a future where your child is completely and utterly trapped.
Let's just walk through this horrifying timeline. For 15 years, you pour every last cent you have into an elite school. The day your child graduates is pretty much the same day you reach retirement age, with nothing. No savings, no assets. So your child, diploma in hand, gets their first job, and on day 1, their wings are clipped. Their starting salary, which should be for their own future, a down payment, marriage, is instead diverted to pay for your medicine, your rent, your groceries.
This is why the single most important rule of family finance is the oxygen mask principle. Just like on an airplane, you have to secure your own financial future first before you can possibly help your child. This isn't a suggestion, it is a non-negotiable law.
So here's how you rewrite your financial rulebook. It's simple. Your retirement fund is priority number 1. You calculate what you need and you fund it relentlessly. Then, and only then, do you use the remaining money for school fees. And if that remainder only gets you into a good local school instead of a fancy international one, so be it.
And this really brings us to the core message of this entire thing. A child with a degree from a regular school, but whose parents are financially secure and independent, has a far, far greater chance at success than a child with an elite diploma who has to financially support their parents for the rest of their life.
Ultimately, your child does not need the fanciest facilities or a brand-name school if the price for that is a home filled with the constant terror of bills and parents who are perpetually stressed out. What they truly need is you, present, calm, and a home that feels safe and secure, not like a business on the brink of bankruptcy.
So I want you to take a hard look at your budget tonight. Be brutally honest with yourself. Is every financial decision you're making building a foundation for 2 generations to thrive? Or are you digging a grave for both of you simply for the temporary satisfaction of a prestigious logo on a school uniform? The choice, as always, is yours.